Welcome to this new video about World Update number 5. Currently we're located at Goteborg Airport, and the plan is to fly up a little bit over Goteborg and then visit some of the point of interests which have been added to World Update number 5. Or I should actually say are added to Flight Simulator 2020 but are part of World Update number 5, of course. So let's see if we can get airborne. Yes, we can. That's very cool. And then open the VFR map because I set up a short flight. So we're gonna make a right turn. In the meantime, we can look at the nice scenery. A lot of nature here, as you can see.
Landveter Tower, Cessna Alpha, Sierra, X-Ray Golf, Sierra Alpha, continue for west departure.
So we're gonna need to turn a little bit more, as you can see. Oop. Freeze. Hopefully this is a short one. Sometimes you have that, right? That's also what people are reporting. It's not caused specifically by World Update number 5. Don't be afraid. It's kind of between brackets expected in Flight Simulator sometimes. Can be multiple reasons for that, right? One of the reasons could be, of course, that you, I would say, set the settings too high, because you can change the settings of the graphics, for example, to ultra or to high or to medium. In some cases you can tune them down to, I would say, lower values, which will help a bit. In my case I've set them pretty high due to a recent, I would say, fix I found, which simply, I would say, increases the speed of the memory. And it had a huge impact on the, I would say, on Flight Simulator in a positive way. So it goes a little bit faster, a lot of more frames per second. So that's really cool, because that's the most important thing, as most of you know. Try to target around 30 frames, because that's also the one, or the frame rate which you're gonna, I would say, use for Flight Simulator 2020 for the Xbox, right? That was recently announced. Will be released later next month, right at the end of July, if I'm correct. So that's cool. So you can see we're using the VFR map, or we can use the VFR map, right? It's not required. So let's make it a little bit smaller in that case, because else it will mess up the view. So we're on our way to Goteborg, and we're flying VFR. We just took off from Goteborg Landveter Airport. Now let's go outside the airplane, right? Because we want to see how it is here in near Goteborg. Press.
Landveter Tower, Cessna Alpha, Sierra, X-Ray Golf, Sierra Alpha, frequency change.
As you can see, a lot of trees. A little bit bumpy. Should have done that. At least I can. You can also use the keyboard to, I would say, maneuver around, right? I think the joystick, Thrustmaster 1600 series. So let's go inside the aircraft again. Maybe a little bit higher to the nose. Let's enjoy the views. As you can see, a lot of green around us, a lot of trees. So, and we're on our way to Goteborg, to the city, to our first point of interest. There are not many point of interests here close by. There, I think, out of the top of my head, there are two. There are regions, for example, if you go to Denmark, near Kastrup Airport, there are a lot of points of interest, including the bridge, which is close to the airport. Keep in mind that if you installed the custom add-on, which was available earlier via Flight Simulator 2, that those two might conflict, so that you need to be aware of that. I think most of us are, so make sure that you have a look at it. Or maybe remove the custom add-on and then use the new one, which is part of World Update number 5. I expect that most of the add-ons which are available via Flight Sim 2 and some of the other add-ons will become compatible with World Update number 5. Sometimes requires a few days work for the developers to, might say, make them suitable. So keep that in mind. And as you can see, I would say it's not really the skyline, but you can see that the I would say larger buildings are popping up. Here you can already see the city name right in the VFR map, so that's really nice. Uddevalla Goteborg. So let's fly around a little bit around, right? Let's not follow the strict VFR map. You can see a soccer stadium has been added. Also several other buildings. I see a church there on the left side, if I'm correct. So let's do a tour above Goteborg. Goteborg, I think it's known for its Volvos, right? Or maybe I'm completely mistaken, but what was known for Volvo, for the car brand. So here you can see some nice scenery. Some higher buildings. Try to avoid, of course, where I would say crashing. Soccer stadium. Some other, I would say, larger buildings, and there's probably the city center. And on the right side, there are also some additions. Some nice buildings being added. Let's go to work. The stadium. Unfortunately, I didn't have time this, I would say, before this world update to record videos before and after, because I did it once and it showed really the difference which was made by a world update. So in the meantime, we need to watch out because there's a very high tower in here. We'll fly to it. You can see some train. Probably we're near the station. The station is probably below us. We're flying over it. So let's go outside the airplane again. Let's tour. Unfortunately, the boats are still under the water, right? As you probably know, that's, I would say, kind of between brackets normal in Flight Simulator. Hopefully that will be fixed someday. But I think that the team has some other work to do. We're using the Cessna 172, right? One of my favorite aircrafts. Also the one I started with when playing Flight Simulator. So we're flying over the city, as you can see. And as you can see from this, there's a lot of trees in Goteborg. Looks really nice. View from higher. So let's go behind the airplane again and let's make our turn. Because we need to fly to our next point of interest, which is one of the bridges near Goteborg. So it's nice weather, right? No clouds. It's probably pretty hot, as in the rest of Europe, but that will change according to the weather stations. Will become, I would say, a little bit nastier, especially here in the Netherlands. So in the evening, even say possibility for small tornadoes. So watch out if you need to go onto the road. Weather might not be as you hope for, although this, I would say, warm weather is also not something you really like. At least it's makes it harder to play Flight Simulator because it could be too hot behind your machine, right? Or watch at the I would say, temperature of my computer, it's also pretty hot. It's continuously blowing. Normally it's already blowing, but especially right now. So here we see the city which we already visited, right? So let's turn a little bit more. We're leaving the city itself and then flying to the next point of interest. Watch out for the large building. Press the wrong button, right? You know that if you're say using the external camera, you can use the capital or the C on your keyboard to, I would say, enable the functionality to, say, control your aircraft, which is sometimes really handy because, as you can see, it doesn't work normally, so be aware of that. So on the left side, it's over there. There's another airport, if I'm correctly. I'm not sure which airport it is, to be honest. I need to look it up. We're flying over the beautiful country. As you can see, it's it looks really nice. So, really wondering how you like World Update number 5. Please leave a comment in the comment box below the video, right? Because I'm always curious what the experience is from, say, colleague flight simmers. Because I can say it's nice, but I'm also wondering what you think about it. Also, if you're leaving or living in Sweden, then let me know how realistic Göteborg is. Is it realistic, or do you miss some details, right? In World Update number 4, there was, of course, Amsterdam and some other cities and other airports in the Netherlands. So I had some, I would say, experience, or I knew those sceneries a little bit more. But in Göteborg, I've been there once. I haven't seen a lot of the city because I was there for work. So let me know, is it realistic, or does it, I would say, require improvement? In the meantime, we're flying straight to our next waypoint, which is also the last one, because that's the, I would say, the final point of interest which is available near Goteborg. So that's cool. And the point of interest, just to let's say, kind of blow up the surprise, is a bridge. Zoom out a bit, you can see that we still need to fly, let's say, a pretty long piece. So if you don't want to watch the entire video, I will place a place mark when I'm reaching the bridge, so you don't have to watch the full time video. Of course, if you want to watch it, feel free, because we're visiting Sweden, all the nice sceneries. We'll look around with it while flying. So if you want, you can still stay here and watch this video. To the next city. So if you're, I would say, sometimes you can speed up the flight, right? You can use the travel button, which is travel to, and then you can simply select the one which you want to go to, right? In this case, I could select this one, and then I would directly jump to it. But I want to enjoy the nice scenery for now, so I'm not going to press it. In addition to that, there are some other options like Neopad, the pushback, the flight event one, which I'm using on a regular basis, and of course Boosto radio, graded on, which will tell you a lot about certain points of interest which are added to their solution. And it will simply read out some text about it, will give you some information. That's really useful when using VFR. Instead of showing the labels of the point of interest, simply let Bushtalk tell you something about it. I also created a video about that, so if you want to have a look at that, how it works, have a look at it. Has received major updates the last few times, in the last few months. So it's now, I would say, a real suitable tool to use. So we're almost out of the city, right? So what we're gonna do is use the trick. Let's speed up a bit. So we're gonna say travel to, and then we're gonna travel to the last waypoint in this case. And then it says, okay, do you want to go? And then you can simply press yes. It will bring you to the next one, and then we can continue flying. It will simply load or show the loading screen shortly, and then once it's there, it has loaded all the stuff, you can continue flying. So it's the Uddevalla Bridge. Not sure if I not pronounce it correctly. That's how I think I should pronounce it. Again, if that's not true, let me know. So let me go inside the aircraft. Keep in mind that by default, if you skip travel to, it will switch on the autopilot. Say, expecting that the autopilot or that the aircraft has an autopilot. So let's decrease the altitude a bit, and let's visit the Uddevalla Bridge. Let's watch from the outside. So here it is. Again, they made the wrong error, so you can see cars driving through the water. So keep that in mind. Other than that, the bridge itself looks really nice, as you can see. So there are probably we need to report a bug about that and say, hey, Asobo, please fix it, because it doesn't make sense to say let the cars drive through the water. I think I can see where the error is. If you look closely, let's make a turn. So the issue has to do with the where's the bridge? Here it is. So if you look closely, you can see that the road is also going under the bridge. So that's something which needs to be fixed. So it looks like that they built in the bridge, but I would say the road still continues through the water. So some work to do there, but you can see, right, it's really amazing, the details of this bridge. Really cool to see. So this is where this video ends, right? Initially we were planning, I would say, to go a little bit further and really, I would say, take the full flight, but to decrease the time of the flight, or of the video I should say, we used the travel to option in Flight Simulator, which you can use to travel to a certain point. I hope you liked this video. If you liked it, then consider to use the like button. If you've got questions or comments, or want to share your feedback about World Update number 5, then please use the comment box. And if you want to stay up to date about new videos I'm posting, then consider subscribing to my channel. Thanks for watching and see you next time.